Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the most gangster of gangster addendums. That is the Additional Clause Addendum. I'm going to show you exactly why this is my most favorite addendum. I get a lot of questions regarding things on this addendum because I think people just don't realize it's available for you. The Arizona Association of Realtors did update this in June of 2021 to include some very, very cool stuff, given the market climate that we're in right now. So it does some very cool things. I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's get right into it. First thing it does is put you in backup contract position. That is pretty awesome. So if you're out there looking at properties and you see one that's accepting backup offers, you can go ahead and write an offer and use the Additional Clause Addendum and get your contract right in behind, so if that prior contract does cancel, your buyer's in line. And so many questions I get is, what is the actual contract date on that? And the contract date would be the date that you receive notice that the other contract canceled from the listing agent. And so you put that right into escrow, or you go ahead and deliver escrow instructions, get everybody kind of tied in, and then start that process. Now you may need to adjust the close of escrow. A lot of people put a 30-day close or a 45-day close or whatever it is, but you don't know when that other contract's going to cancel. Heck, it could cancel on like the last day. So you can use an addendum to change that close of escrow date if you're going to need to do that. Okay, number two, signature of absent buyer, spouse, or co-buyer. This is really, really cool. Let's just say you've got a buyer that's like super interested in the property, and their husband or wife or significant other or whoever they're buying the house with is overseas and they're in Machu Picchu and there's no cell service in Machu Picchu, right? And so you're like, dang it, I need to get this offer in. How can I do that but not have the other signature? They're not available by email. What do? Well, use the Additional Clause Addendum, dang it. And you just click that little box on line 18 and you are good to go. Corporate relocation, self-explanatory. Guys, if you're dealing with a corporate relo, that is the box you would need to check on that. Non-refundable earnest money. And so this is a really, really good one. You need to understand the dynamics of the non-refundable earnest money here because it is refundable during the inspection period. Now, if you put 0 days for the inspection period, it's basically really non-refundable. But even if you give yourself 1, 2, 3, 10, 15 days of an inspection period, your earnest is refundable, or you can get that back if you cancel on the Binzer. And so very important to understand that. Waiver of Appraisal. Let's just read this together. Buyer agrees to waive appraisal contingency pursuant to the financing section of the contract. In the event that the premises fail to appraise for at least the sales price, buyer agrees that the down payments can be increased in the amount equal to the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price, aka buyer is bringing more money to escrow. Here's the one I really like. Appraisal shortfall. In the event the premises fail to appraise for at least the purchase price in any appraisal required by the lender, any appraisal, the buyer agrees that the buyer shall submit additional funds via U.S. currency or financing, could be either, in the amount equal to the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price, provided that the difference does not exceed X amount of dollars. Now, it could be $5,000, $10,000, $1,000, $1, whatever that gap is. Basically, you're saying that you're going to be able to make up that gap. And so make sure that your buyer has funds or has the ability to finance an additional amount. Buyer and seller agree that the difference between the appraised value and the purchase price exceeds the amount of money set forth in line 40. The seller is not obligated to lower the purchase price, and the buyer has 5 days after the notice of the appraised value from the lender, generally, to cancel this contract and then go ahead and receive that return of the earnest money for the appraisal contingency. So that's it, guys. It's pretty simple. It's a really, really good clause, and a lot of people have been making their own clauses as far as appraisal gaps. Please don't do that. Please use that one, and you check line 37. All cash sale appraisal contingency. Now, sometimes if you're going into an all cash sale, be aware that the appraisal contingency is not available for an all cash sale on the standard contract. Now, if you want to add in an appraisal contingency on that, you can't just check the box in the financing section, that the buyer's paying for the appraisal and that, they should not be or should be, contributing closing costs or whatever that line says. You need to use this. This is the only way you can add in an appraisal contingency on an all-cash deal. You can't do it any other way. You would check box number 45. A survey, very infrequent have we seen surveys be a requirement of a transaction or an escrow. Generally, you're going to see that in some of the less populated or the less dense areas of Phoenix or surrounding areas, where you need a survey. And you're like, hey, Bob, where's your property line? Bob's like, I don't know, somewhere over there by the fence, and there's no post, so there's no markers there to signify or basically show you where the property line is. So you want to use that. Tax deferred exchange, 1031 exchanges. This is where you would enter that clause in there. You don't want to put in additional clauses, in the contract, buyer and seller to participate. Please use this in the Additional Clause Addendum. That will save you some headaches there because those are very, very time sensitive, and you want to lay out a little more than buyer and seller are going to participate. Water. Now, this is interesting. I've never used this, to be honest with you, but basically what's happening is that Arizona's going to court suing people over the water rights, because obviously water rights in Arizona are slightly different than other other states. And understand that the Gila River and the Little Colorado River, who owns that water? And a lot of those water rights are actually owned by someone else. And so, we got to be very, very conscious of that. If you have a property that's surrounding either one of those two rivers, please contact your broker or please contact an attorney and find out who actually has water rights on those properties, because the state of Arizona is trying to reclaim all those. And so where your water source comes from might be of significant importance to your buyer. And so if they can't get water, probably can't live in the house. Guys, that's it for the Additional Clause Addendum. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you haven't done it already, dang it, like and subscribe, because that means the world to me. Thank you for tuning in. I genuinely appreciate you guys, and I can't wait to see you very, very soon. Thanks so much. Take care. See you.